Time to take a look at the twin Kohmak here, and the interesting thing is the blueprint is supposed to be dropped by a boss, Kyla, and they've actually done this before. I mentioned it in my update video. The twin gremlins drop from the blueprint for these drops from Captain Vor Krill boss battle on Phobos, however you want to pronounce it, and they've basically done it again. And yes, I am actually recording this without owning the weapon right now through the magic of editing. I'll have it in a second. And about here is where I have to go back and re-record some stuff because I've lost files. It's probably going to turn up in a different video if I didn't accidentally shove it into one previous. But to get this, as I said before, the blueprint is dropped from Keller, whatever her name is, or you can buy them for 225 platinum. Building them is actually quite expensive because what you have to do is build two of the normal Kohmaks, which is 2 detonate injectors each, 5,000 ferrite each, 5,000 plastides each, and 2 formers, 1 each. So the total to build this is actually wrong everywhere I found it. Because it says 4 detonate injectors, 10,000 ferrite, 10,000 plastide, 3 former, because to put the 2 together, there it is a former, so it is 3 in total. And a grand total of 110,000 credits. What people are forgetting is it's also going to cost 1,000 salvage. Wow, actually it's more than that. It's 2,000 salvage, 1,000 plastides, 4 control modules, and 40 detonate ampules, as well as 60,000 credits to build these, which take 12 hours each, and you have to build 4 of them. So the 60 hours that it takes to build these is actually more if you don't have some of these built. I have a fair few built, but that's just because I used to do the missions that would reward you with these, the invasion missions. And while trying to farm the Gustag 3, ended up with quite a few of them. Actually, it wasn't the Gustag 3, it was Zanuka was trying to farm. And you end up with a few of them siding with the Grenier. A lot of people seem to have forgot about that. Comparing the two, the only difference between the twin Kohmak and the normal Kohmak is it's got twice the magazine. But it has 10% status, 5% crit. Doesn't really bode well for it, especially considering it comes with 1D polarity. After 3 days of using this, I did form it 4 times. I put in 3 Vs for the usual Hornet Strike, Barrel Diffusion, Lethal Torrent. I then swapped the D for a dash. I did put Maim in there because it took the slash from 9.6 to 188.5, but it could also be used for an elemental mod if you decide to put one of those in there. You don't have to put Maim in, that just happens to be what I have in. On that, I will show what I actually had in this at the time, because now if I try to defend this, the elemental stuff at the side usually stick with 2, so I have 1 elemental type on at least a weapon I'm using. And the dual stat ones, I can take them out, swap other ones in, change whatever element it is. And the ammo mods and Maim, I can't defend that. It's just, yeah, I have no defense for that one at all. But the main reason I had the Prime Slit magazine and Trick Mag in here were because I found the twin Kohmak to be very heavy on the ammo consumption, because it's a automatic firing shotgun twin secondary. I didn't know this weapon was a shotgun version either, which came as kind of a shock to us because they're all much better shotgun secondaries than the Kohmak. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could just, let's see. There's one, the AK Bronco. Yep, definitely more damage, more status. It is a bit of a pain on the reload, and the magazine capacity is pretty much non-existent in comparison, but the AK Bronco is a thing that exists, and the total damage number on the lowest one of those is higher than the highest damage number on the twin Kohmak. Not to mention it has 3 times the status, but again, slower magazine, ignoring the single shotguns, because this is a twin firing weapon, so it won't touch the Detron or the Brak, and I'm trying to think, I'm pretty sure there is a third one. But none of those were as ammo heavy as this thing, and that's why, because it has a big magazine, it's automatic firing, it's a bit of a problem. So I kind of went for those rather than the ammo mutator, just because for automatic firing weapons I tend to go for the big magazine and the max ammo capacity, and then use them until they run out of ammo, and then swap to the primary until they've got some more ammo in them, which is where the ammo mutator would be useful. But with the ammo mutator, you've got to have them equipped for them to reload the ammo. At least that way it kind of doesn't. But I am sacrificing one of the slots to the damage, so the damage isn't as high as I could take it. But with the pistol, pestilence and jolt, or whatever other elemental combo you want to put on the end of there using dual stat mods, yes, they are 60%, not 90, but eh. They do add status, which took this to 50, literally 50.1% status, which seemed weird. But it's just the fact that this thing is a automatic firing weapon made it heavy on the ammo, but once you get around the fact that it's spools, which is something I never really noticed while using them. It was after that somebody was talking to us about them and turned around and said, well, what do you think about the spool time? It was like, this is spool time? I went and used it, and yeah, it's so minuscule, you'll hardly ever notice it, but it is there. So increasing the fire rate could kind of get around that, but to be honest, it's that unnoticeable with its 8 fire rate with Lethal Torrent even on there, because Lethal Torrent took it from a 5 fire rate to an 8, so putting Gunslinger on would increase that more. You could put that on instead of the ammo mods. But no matter how you build this thing, it actually works out to be quite a decent little weapon because it has the big magazine capacity. It's automatic firing, it's got pretty widespread being a shotgun weapon, which, again, I didn't notice it was a shotgun weapon until somebody basically turned around and said, oh yeah, this is a shotgun weapon. It's like, really? There's a noticeable difference between, say, the Lex, or the Lex Prime, and the AK Bronco Prime, which is a shotgun-based weapon, and it's the spread of the rounds. On this, I just thought it was a visual effect. No, it's the rounds. Yeah, this thing is not that good at distance. Being a shotgun-based one, at close range, it's always pretty good, which is usually where I use my secondaries. So that's why I never noticed, because I tend to use my secondaries at close range anyway. Which tends to be why I've got the Sonocore equipped, because it pushes them away from us. So despite the fact that they are expensive as hell to build, they suck ammo like crazy, were actually a pretty decent secondary. The only thing you have to remember though is they're a good secondary, but only at close range.